Savaged, also known as Avenged, is a movie that came out 2013 on IMDb, but 2015 later it got rebranded. I have a bit of a history with this movie. When I worked at a movie theater, I got free movies, and they were playing like a horror movie every month, like a special. And it was like smaller, sort of indie kind of horror movies. They are actually all made by the same company, Raven Banner. So I really wanted to watch this movie. I saw a trailer for it in front of another movie, but it never played. I guess the theater that I went to, they canceled the series, the horror series. I watched about 3 with my friend until they stopped doing that. So I found this one on Amazon Prime. I'm guessing they got a deal with Raven Banner because some of the other movies are actually on Amazon Prime. So anyways, this movie is about Zoe. She is a deaf-mute girl who has just inherited her father's sweet car. And she's driving through the country when she witnesses a terrible murder. These redneck racists have killed 2 Native Americans, and they're very nasty, and she tries to help one of the victims, but they block her car and they stop her from leaving, and they plan to do terrible. They can't leave her, obviously, because, you know, she just witnessed them killing and their hate crime. So they shoot at her, they wound her, they take her back to the shed, and they rape her over a couple of days. So this movie is basically a rape and revenge movie. The twist being that Zoe is able to escape only to be killed, but then her body gets found by a Native American witch doctor, and he tries to bring her back to life. However, because of the hatred for her abusers, her body gets possessed by the spirit of a powerful Apache warrior who was also unfairly killed by the white man probably like 100 years ago. So her boyfriend is like distraught because, you know, he can't find her, but he knows she's alive because she's able to do a phone call before she starts her murder spree. So this movie, it's quite stylish. I like the acting. The movie has really fantastic set pieces, like gore set pieces. But it feels more like an action movie than a horror movie, and that's what kind of bugged me because I like the whole supernatural twist on the whole rape and revenge movie, but it felt more like, yeah, an action movie. There's especially a scene on a truck where they're like having a knife fight, and I'm just like, this feels like more of a action flick than a horror movie, you know, because it doesn't feel like they're scared at all when she's coming after them, because they keep loading up on, like, you know, assault rifles and shotguns and grenades and all this stuff. When you add too many guns into a horror movie, it ends up being more of an action picture. It's just the way like if you're watching like a Halloween movie and then all of a sudden like a whole SWAT team comes after Jason, it would feel really out of place. It would just be like, you know, now he's taking on like 10 guys with assault rifles. That's what this movie kind of feels like. Also, the acting's pretty good throughout the whole cast. However, the villains are written really cartoonishly. They are just irredeemable monsters that like to kill Native American people just for the hell of it, and her, you know, they mistreat her very poorly, and they're corrupt and just absolutely despicable. Then they bring in more characters, and those characters are even more racist, and the characters just basically feel very one-dimensional because they're just supposed to be, you know, cannon fodder for the main character. But overall, the movie does have some slick set pieces, and the ending is kind of weird. I'm guessing when I say the movie has slick set pieces, there are some, shall we say, weaknesses of the direction. I'm not sure if this is the director's first film. This is an indie movie, lower budget, so you can. Some of the visual effects are kind of, you know, eh. And there's also 2 scenes that are kind of like poorly directed because, you know, budget constrictions or just lack of experience. But the knife fight on the truck and the chainsaw duel at the end are kind of over edited and cut. It just felt kind of slow. Maybe needed better music or something, or just it felt really slow. I mean, that's like the slowest chainsaw duel you've ever seen. Overall, though, Savaged or Avenged is your usual rape and revenge film, really gory, with a supernatural twist that's interesting. I just felt like the boyfriend character didn't really, or the fiance character, he didn't really add anything to the movie. You could have swapped that with his sister or anything else, but Overall, it's you know, a movie that I wanted to watch because it was on my list for a really long time, and I did, and it wasn't really worth it. So I give Avenged or Savaged a 4 out of 10.